All right, so this is going to be another video on our battery chainsaw. This is the MSA 140C, okay? When you buy this, it's a steel. When you buy this from a steel dealer, it comes with a battery. It comes with a charger. So you buy this in a kit. It's light. It's super light. Like, I suggest this for the homeowner that wants to get into chainsaw carving. This is the saw that I suggest because you can do bulk out with it. I don't care if people say you shouldn't do bulk with this bar. I do bulking out with the carving. I'm going to use this whole bar for this video. So when you buy this saw, like you buy the saw, you buy the battery, and you buy the charger. It all comes as a kit, so you don't have to buy them separate. I do suggest you buy a spare battery. So when you're using this battery's in the charger, charging, right? You can see here, I think both these batteries might be fully charged. I'm not too sure. Okay, so that's fully charged. So what I'm going to do is I got 3 batteries. I'm going to make sure I have 2 fully charged batteries and see if I can carve this mushroom with, see how far the batteries go. And I'm going to do it live, real-time carving. So all you need to do when you buy the saw, you need to say to the people at steel, lots of steel shops don't know about carving, so they don't know about carving bars and chains and stuff. They don't. So all you do is you order yourself. There's only 2 steel carving bars, okay? They're both 12-inch. There's quarter pitch or there's 043 gauge. Quarter pitch. No, they're okay, let me start over. There's 2 types of bars. They're both quarter pitch, okay? So the sprocket that comes in here already is already quarter pitch, so you don't need to change this sprocket. The sprocket that comes in this saw works for this bar. The bar that I have on this saw is, okay, they're both quarter pitch. Both bars are quarter pitch. There's 043 gauge chain, which is smaller and thinner, and there's 50 gauge chain. So the bar is 043 bar or a 50 gauge, 0.043 gauge bar or a 50 gauge bar, 0.050. So I order for this saw, because it's not as fast as a gas saw is and powerful, I order the 043 gauge bar and chain, okay? So just remember that, 0.043 bar and chain. I know it gets confusing. Trust me, I still get confused when it comes to bars and chains. But order the bar, the steel bar, it's 12-inch, the 043 one with the chain. Order a couple chains too. It's going to get pricey, but then your shopping's done and you can carry on and carve away in your backyard, even with neighbors, right? This is a jaw horse. You guys can fasten the wood up the way you want to do it. And I use canola oil. The only thing about these, there's no gas thing here, right? So this is just your oil thing. When I use my gas chainsaws, every time I run out of gas, I fill up my bar oil. So it reminds me to fill both of them up. But this time, so you got to remember to always check your bar oil. Make sure that you have bar oil in there. Anyways. So this is what we're going to be using today. We're going to do a real-time carving. I hope that bar made sense for you. And you can also get a quick charger for these batteries. I bought one. It charges the battery by the time you're done with one battery. So what I do first is I carve the stalk in first. So I'll go like this. How big do I want my mushroom cap to be? You can do like chantel mushrooms. You can do those, any type of mushroom you want. Any type of mushroom you want, you know? It can be a UFO mushroom if you want it to be a UFO mushroom. But this first one's going to be like a toadstool, so like, you know, that kids can sit on them. So it's going to have a fairly big mushroom cap. So I'll mark this line all the way around. Okay, so now I'll put it into my jaw horse. And I do the stalk first because I can do a cut all the way around it. And then I can go in on a bevel and cut this like, let's see here. I can cut this wood out like this, right? And pull this whole piece out. And you can make it as small as you want. This first one I'm going to do is going to be stocky, so it can just sit on the ground, okay? So let me get it in the jaw horse. Is that lock or unlock? Okay, so it's locked in, good to go. Now I'm going to get my saw, and I'm going to go around and cut. I'm going to cut as deep as I think I want the stalk to be. It doesn't matter. You guys will figure this out. So I'll probably cut about, I don't know, 3 inches in there. You can, another thing you can do to try and get the same cut all the way around, the depth, you can mark your bar. You can get a pen and mark your bar. So now when I'm cutting, and my thing is inside there, I can see that line and just put that line to how deep you want to go. Okay, it's not perfect by any means, but I really don't care. So now, with chainsaws, I think this would be like a wedge cut. This is the cut that always takes the longest to do. It's because you're cutting with grain and against grain. This is all in my opinion too. There's probably some pro chainsaw carvers that are watching this video and goes, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm just saying from my experience and opinions, okay? Shoot, sorry, I remember I said I was going to start with 2 full batteries. Okay, this one's fully charged. Okay, so this, and another good thing for the very big beginner chainsaws, there's lots of videos on YouTube how to sharpen your chains. My chain's pretty dull right now, so I'm gonna stop, even though I don't want to, and I'm gonna sharpen my chain, okay? I'm not gonna film doing that, but there's lots of videos how to sharpen your chains on YouTube. Okay, my saw is sharp, as good as I can sharpen it. It's getting to the end there, so well, it's all I got, and we'll see what we can do. So we'll keep on. Remember, we're cutting these on an angle like this. Another thing with these chainsaws, these battery ones, I like to have my air compressor hooked up and a little spray thing, because sometimes it gets plugged up in here. I just spray it out once in a while. I'll finish all these cuts and round it off so you guys can see it will be like this. This is the bottom, remember, this is the stock. Okay, so I got all that cut. It's all cut all the way around. So all I'm gonna do here, some people like to go like this and give it like mushroom marks, you know, like under the cap, so it's got those lines there, you know, so I don't know. I don't do those because once a mushroom's on the ground, you're not going to see them, right? So, but what I did here is I carved a little bit deeper between the stalk and the cap to make them look separated. This doesn't make them look so good together. Okay, so since you're still working on the bottom piece, this is what you can, if you got a grinder with a sanding disc on it, let me make sure this is filming. Yeah, you can grind it, but what I use is my chainsaw. I'm cleaning everything up, getting rid of all the square points. The top of your chain, like if you go like this, it will clean up better. You use the top of your chain, the top, not the bottom. I think that's good enough for me. But let me pull out my grinder and I'll show you the flap wheel I use. Just kind of, you can see it's a little bit square. I can do it all with my chainsaw, but whatever. Okay, just to show you guys, I've done all this. See if make sure it's on camera. I still got 3 bars left out of 4. See there's 1 bar dead there? Okay, so now I'm gonna put on my desk mask and I'm gonna quickly sand around here. Don't need to, but I'm gonna, just to show you guys. This is just a cheap Walmart grinder. What's it called? Hyper Tough. And this is a 36 grit sanding pad on here. And it's got the backer, see? That rubber thing is a backer, so you buy this. Then you buy these 36 grit. You can find them in the metalworking part too. I think this one is metalworking. I don't care. It works just as good. Okay, so that's done. Okay, so say for example, you want to have some color in the stock, but you know, if you, I don't know if I can zoom in here, but you can see some nice wide grain here. So while it's still in the vise and you can work on the stock, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a quick burn. Shosugi pooped their pants. That's what they call it, Shosugi ban. That's how Japanese used to how to preserve their wood houses. They would burn the wood. Then I'm going to use this nylon wheel you can get on my Amazon store, Car Salesman. Doesn't matter, but these are good ones. You buy them on, if you look down below in the description, you'll see my Amazon store. And these, for the Shosugi band, you can't burn it then sand it. You need to use like Scotch-Brite for dishes, that green stuff, or you need to use this kind of thing. There might be something else you could use too, but I'm just going to use this. I'm going to burn it quick, and then I'm going to use this, and then you'll see how it can really make the grains pop. I wasn't going to do it, but how about I just do a time lapse? I'll show you quickly burning it. Okay, time lapse. Okay, so that's all burnt now. I just cut it out so it doesn't go on too long. Now I'm going to use that nylon wheel I showed you. Lots of people ask if I don't mention it. This is my Trend desk mask. See, it says Trend there. It's got air filters here. It's got fans in it. It goes on, off. It's got a rechargeable battery. It's not cheap, but it's the best investment I made for wood carving. It pushes air in, okay? Okay, so there you go, your bottom's done. You know, if you put clear coat on this, it's going to get really dark. You're going to see the highs, the darks, and the light spots. a lot better, but I don't have any clear coat here. Okay, so now let me put the camera back in the camera thing, and we'll flip it over and work on the cap. Okay, release the jaw horse. So this crack, you know, since you're carving a full round too, it's, what's the word? It's an inevitable that it's going to crack because it's got the center of the wood in it. So, you know, you think that crack can be, doesn't matter. I don't care where it is, but let's make it so this will be the front of the mushroom, right? Put the crack around back. So maybe I do care because I put the crack around the back. But these jaw horses, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put this rag in here, because when I clamp it up, you got old paint and stuff on here, and just, you know, the rag will prevent a dent in the wood if you're trying to make a really nice one, you know, like, make sure it's around it. But all you do is clamp it up. You know, you probably get little dents in there from the jaw horse, but it's okay. It's a friggin' mushroom for somebody's yard. Like, is a dent really gonna matter? Are they gonna try and reduce the price like 90%? Like, we only want to give you $5 for this instead of $75? I don't think so. Don't mind me, I'm just sitting here having a little break, drinking some Timmy Hortons coffee. Okay, so I think they sell Money's mushrooms around the world. So let's try and make this cap kind of roundish, I guess. So what I'm going to do is go do on a 45 cut and take a block right out here, okay? And don't forget, we're still on the same battery. It's got 2 bars left. So I've been cutting pretty hard fast with this. So I got my air compressor. And I blow it out. Just prevents any clog up, because these do overheat and it stops till it's cool. Like the battery will start flashing red. That means it's overheated. And a good way to overheat it is plugging it up with the stuff in here. Okay, so now I'm going to start rounding everything off. Okay, so now again, I'll use the top of my bar, I'll smooth it off, then I'll pull out the die grinder. Sorry, the grinder. Okay, so it looks pretty round to me, but if you want to make it even more round, you can get an orbit sander or whatever kind of hand sander, sandpaper, and round out, because you still got little square points from that grinder. We'll plug it in. Fuck. Fucking. Oh, I'd like to give a special shout out to Liz today. She asked me a while ago, I think it was to make a mushroom video. So here's the mushroom video, Liz. She's been a huge supporter of Carving Fusion since the very beginning, and she's a great friend. Say hi to Bob, Liz. Anyways, thanks, Liz. Okay, no marks on it from the jaw horse. There's that crack. So there you go. There's a mushroom. Now, if you want, you can have real fun, you know. Shit's all, I didn't sound it good enough back here. Don't care. It's just a mushroom. Now, you can, if you want, you can paint this top red. You can put the white dots on it. That's a big seller. Do I want to paint it red? I got some red paint here. This stuff doesn't dry very fast, but yeah, okay. I got to get something. That's not very good. You know, you put the white dots on it, like what is that old strawberry shortcake shit? Oh yeah, somebody will buy it. Some lady will buy it for her garden, I guarantee that. Okay, so I'll let this dry here. I know this stock's super thick, but I'm just trying to show the very beginners they can do it with the battery saw. How many bars do we got left in this saw? We still got 2 bars, so we carved this whole thing with with half a battery for the saw. So there you go. Okay, so I'm gonna put this aside. Is this thing filming? Sorry, I gotta check. I'm gonna put this aside, put it outside, let the paint dry. Maybe we'll put some white dots on it. But what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to carve another mushroom exactly like I carved this one, all right? But I'm going to carve the stalk a lot thinner. It's going to have a real thin stalk, and it's not going to, it won't be able to just sit on the ground. This is more like a kid's seat, right? Kids can sit on it like a toadstool, if that's what they call it. I don't know. But the stalk's going to be thinner, and I'll show you how I fasten the thinner ones that won't stand like this naturally, how I fasten those to the ground so you can do, and it's super easy, and they'll stand up. Because if it's got too thin of a stalk, it won't stand. It's top heavy, right? Maybe I'll carve like a chanterelle or something. Well, that's not supposed to stand up. It's supposed to have a thinner base. Let me show you how you make these stand up so they'll never fall over. By special words by Jordy Carving Fusion right here. Okay, so here you got an F and cordless drill. This is a spade bit. This is what I use. You can use any type of bit, big drill bits, whatever you got.
to put a hole in the bottom. See, there it's going in. You got to drill the effing hole, okay? Maybe about 6 inches deep. There you can kind of see it goes in and out. It's good to pull out the wood sawdust when you go in about half an inch, pull it out, and there you go. Just effing like that. Okay, so there's the hole. We're about 6 inches deep. Now what you got is a piece of effing rebar, all right? So you got the rebar, you cut it to size, and you got your thing, your mushroom thing. You put the rebar inside the hole till it doesn't go anymore. You got a pen, you mark the rebar, so when you bang the rebar into the ground, you know when to stop. You got a hammer. So here you go. You bang the make sure there's no water pipes or gas pipes below you. You bang the rebar in, tell that line that you drew on. You get your mushroom. You could caulk it. You could put some glue up in there. And there you go. There the mushroom sits, and it's not going to fall over. Look, I'm kicking it. Kick the effing thing. Kick the effing thing, Jordy.
Okay, so I got some white acrylic paint here. Just dollar store paint. Let's give it some white dots. Make it more sellable. Mushrooms. Well, mushrooms are fantasy. They can be whatever you want them to be. These white dots can go however I want them to go. They can go like, you know, they don't have to. It's whatever you want to do. It's your art piece. And just like the more that you do at anything, not just art, and the more that I like to put some half ones down there so it looks like, I don't know. The more that the harder you try, you may not succeed at first, but eventually you'll succeed. These mushrooms are like this. This is what I started carving when I first started chainsaw carving. And I suggest to give them a try. They're super fun, and it lets you learn how to use the saw and curve it in the wood and what works and what doesn't work. And then, you know, the more that you have to sharpen your chainsaw, the more that you sharpen your chainsaw, the better you're going to get at it. Okay, so how about I get these white strawberry shortcake dots done, and I don't know, I'll show you what I carved today. So there you go. You know, this will last. This is cedar. This will last. You can put a clear finish on it. This will last 20 years. Yes, I signed it. So there's the crack. Put that around back, and there you go. There's your mushroom. Here's the other one. I showed you guys how to do the bottom to make it stand up. It stands up now, but you know, a little bit of wind will knock it over. And I also carved one more. This was kind of me challenging myself. I carved this one with 3 mushrooms. It's a little bit thin down here. It's okay. It's the first one I've done like that. The more that you do, the better that you're going to get. Yes, I signed it. This will be the back. And I did put a clear finish on this one too. So, you know, I carved in here. You could put moss in here too. And even lights. I do lots of that stuff around in the winter time when I'm not here as much and I'm more with my Dremel carving. But this is it. That's what it is. It's an outdoor piece, indoor piece, whatever you want. This one would obviously be the most expensive. This one would be the least expensive because it's the smallest piece of wood than this one. Got that, everybody? There you go. There you go, Liz. There you go, Just Carve Rob. I haven't seen you use your chainsaw very much this summer, so you gotta do a wood mushroom with the wood spirit on it. Wood spirit mushroom, Just Carve Rob. Hope everybody's good. Enjoying the rest of the summer. And just having fun. Having a good time. I carved this too. Mushrooms are whatever you, whoa. They're whatever you want them to be. Carve Infusion, over and out.